started out at the beach, literally. I was sitting on the bench at Ditch Plains in Montauk when my yoga teacher friend, and yes, this is a true story, tells me about a benefit she's doing and asks me to contribute. I had a catering company back then, and I said, sure, I'll bring lemonade. It was only after she walked away that I realized I really hadn't made lemonade, and now my culinary reputation was on the line. And that said, it's worth mentioning that previous to catering, I'd set up a cold-pressed green juice program and knew my way around a Norwalk. So that's how I approached it. I was gonna make fresh, very fresh lemonade with real local fruit. The benefit was fun, and the lemonade, the likes of which no one had ever had before, was a big hit. Sweet Talk is fresh squeezed, cold-pressed, HPP lemonade with half the sugar of anything out there. In Bev speak, it's a category changer. Our less sugar, healthy approach and branding inspired by our Surfer Town vibe resonated with the locals and the visitors. Our farmers market stand grew into a seasonal shop, and we supplied many Hamptons markets. I learned many things along the way, like HACCP certification, PowerPoint presentations, and now public speaking. And having come this far, everyone keeps telling me, now the hard part starts. And I know they're right, because making great lemonade was the easy part. Getting and keeping customers was easy too. They just had to taste it. You can hand Sweet Talk to your grandparents, children, parents, and friends without having to explain it. They know what it is. It's lemonade. The only thing surprising is it doesn't taste store-bought. It tastes fresh. The hard part is turning a passion into a business and building a strong foundation. If I'm back tomorrow, I'll explain how we're succeeding and why, besides getting harder, I think it will stay fun. Thank you.
I apologize for butchering Deb's name. It probably will happen again. So Sweet Talk, interesting marketing positioning, the whole local aspect of Montauk. How would that resonate with a larger scalable audience? Bill?
No, I mean, I think the local production leads to like an artisan feel for a product typically. So I think, it's not just a regional product. It could be exciting, coast to coast. I like the fact that it's half the sugar. It's a shame. Lemons are a very nutrient-dense fruit, but it's the platform to talk about that doesn't really move the needle for this type of product. I think if they can spike the flavor notes, it's a little sour, need to, with the reduced sugar, find a way to blend that out, maybe a manipulation with a little bit of stevia or something to make it just a little crisper, a little less sour, but keep the sugar down.
Mm-hmm. Justin, Sweet Talk labels both calorie count and sugar count on the front of the package. What do you think about that?
I think it's a good idea. I think, as Bill said, the roadblock they're going to run into a little bit is touting the fact that it has half the sugar, but most people who are drinking lemonade want a sweet tasting product, and I agree that it didn't taste as sweet as a regular lemonade would. So I think there's a little bit of a hurdle there. I note that it said excellent source of happiness on the front. I'm not going to kill the fact that unfortunately, there's no set definition of happiness in what 20% of the daily value of happiness is. Sadly enough, though, there have been warning letters where the FDA has sent out to people who have included in the ingredients list made with love or made with special care, and the FDA has said that love and special care are not actual ingredients, so you can't keep them in the ingredient list. I think that one would pass muster, but you have to be careful about how playful you get with some of the terms.
Paul, I'll give you the last word. You got 10 seconds.
Yeah, I really liked the flavor, actually. I thought it was a more subtle flavor, maybe for an older audience and less of a kid's lemonade. Mm-hmm. So, and the packaging, I think, is outstanding. I've seen that in some other products, but small, compact, kind of classic looking. And I like the surfing motif she has as well.
Great. All right, moving right along. Next up, I will tell you, is Zpirit. Philippe Raro. Did I get your name right? Close enough? All right.
I name better than the company.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so
2
much.
minutes, your timer is right there.
Perfect. Hello, judges. Hello, BevNet attendees. My name is Philippe Poirot, and I'm the founder of Zpirit Foods, Inc. So about a few years ago, I was working for Google in Poland, and at every lunch, they would serve us fruit-infused water. It was delicious. It inspired me to create a new beverage category, the first ready-to-drink infused water. So we recently launched Zpirit. Zpirit is a unique beverage featuring real pieces of fruit. It's for modern, health-conscious individuals. So we're steeping real herbs and adding whole pieces of fruit in every bottle. It's a low-sugar, low-calorie beverage that delivers a complete sensory experience, from the nose to the taste. It's perfect for yoga moms. So we developed a proprietary packing process that enables us to leverage any conventional co-packer facility to make this beverage. So we currently have a 12-month shelf life, and we don't use any preservative. So we took also a different approach to market. We first started selling to corporate offices that have for mission to deliver better health perks and food to their employees. So we are currently available in about 500 locations across Canada and retailing at a price point between $1.99 and $2.29. So Spirit won't cure your hangover, but if you're looking for a delicious and tasty refreshment that delivers a little bit of an extra, this is the drink for you. All right, thank you.
Nice job, Philippe. Very unique kind of formulation for a product like this. You've got the fruit infused into a glass bottle. You don't see too much of that. I guess Mama Chia and things like that, you might see a little bit of that. You know, Paul, what are your first impressions of the product and brand?
When we first looked at it, it kind of looks like a salad dressing. So the category association that you create immediately at shelf may be something to take a look at. But the fruit inside was also kind of captured our attention.
Okay. Justin, fruit inside the bottle, could that present any legal issues down the line?
I don't know legal issues. I thought it was one of the best tasting drinks that we had. I just think you run into a little bit of, when it was poured out, especially into the little cups that we had, it almost looked as much like a fruit cocktail type of thing that you would eat. So, you know, depending on how it's being served, I think there might be some confusion on what it is. But I thought overall it was one of the best tasting products we had.
Sue, do you agree?
Yeah, I liked it. The fruit in the bottom, I liked the idea of it, but then as a consumer, I would wonder, well, how fresh is that, and am I supposed to eat it, or is it just for looks, or whatever? So that, you know, that was a little different, but interesting. And I thought the packaging was good, but again, a little bit overwhelming. There was a lot going on that bottle.
Okay. And Bill, from a marketing standpoint, the label, you know, what's your take on it right now?
Well, I agree with Paul. I thought it looked kind of like salad dressing from afar. And I think the proposition with the fruit in the bottle is kind of mitigated by the fact that it's a shelf-stable product. I mean, you've seen with HPP juice, brands like Suja, it's kind of crossed over into functional beverage. Bottled juices still continue to grow a little bit, and HPP juice has exploded because of the nutritional proposition. I think a product like this, not sure if you can use HPP with particulate in the bottle, but I think you have to present it in a fresher format to get that consumer looking for the benefit.
Great, good points, good points. All right, moving right along. MatchaBar, Graham Fortgang, excuse me. Where are you, Graham? Huh? Oh, fantastic. Get 2 for the price of 1. Thank you very much. Come on up. This is Max Fortgang.
What's going on, man?
Good to see you. You got 2 minutes and your timer's right over there.
Wonderful. Hey everybody, my name is Max Fortgang. This is my brother Graham, and we are the co-owners of MatchaBar, a matcha tea company based in Brooklyn, New York. Come July, we're going to be launching our first ever bottled product, taking matcha out of the ceremonial context into 3 new and exciting flavors: Fuji apple, peach matcha, and our original blend with hints of yuzu and mint. Growing up in New York, Graham and I know a thing or two about what we like to call the New York hustle. You know, going to school, trying to get a degree, start a career, 2 jobs, it seems like there just aren't enough hours in the day.
So, around 3 years ago, Max and I fell in love with a product we call matcha as an alternative to your coffee, espresso, and energy drinks. We saw matcha as a superior fuel for 3 reasons: extended release caffeine with a target of 80 milligrams per bottle, high antioxidant content, and L-theanine, an amino acid known as a natural calming agent. Now, we sum this up as a calm, focused energy. Quality, very important to me and to this guy. So we sought out to create our own brand of matcha, traveling to Nishio, Japan, where we created our own brand of matcha with this 5th-generation family farm. Now, we sell this product by the tin, online, and at our store in a brick-and-mortar location here in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. We opened up about 9 months ago.
9 months ago.
So through this store, we've been able to create an amazing community. We call it our Matcha Fam. Now, we have one message we tell them: fuel your hustle. The idea that matcha could be a superior fuel for your dreams, your aspirations, your everyday grind. Now, part of the MatchaBar hustle is doing everything we can to share our drinks with as many people and as many places, with pop-up events as far as Tokyo last month and LA next month, at events like music festivals, college campuses, and hackathons, and next with our bottled product, with 3 of our signature flavors from our cafe, which this guy came up with, using a full serving 2 grams of ceremonial grade MatchaBar matcha. On behalf of me and him, welcome to the Matcha fam. Let's do it. Yeah, man.
Great job, guys. Matcha, if anyone was at Natural Products Expo West, you saw a lot of new matcha products on the market. You also saw matcha infused in a lot of new beverages. Sue, what's your take on the ingredient and the way it's being presented by MatchaBar?
Yeah, the guys had a lot more experience, and they were saying, I think it was Bill that was saying it needs to be more grassy tasting. Was that? Yeah, that was it. I liked the Fuji apple one. I thought it tasted pretty good to me. My take on the product was the packaging I thought was kind of bland. It didn't really pop on the shelf. But I can't really compare it to other matcha products. I don't have any experience.
What would you change about the packaging?
I just didn't think it said buy me. I didn't understand it really. I didn't understand what it was trying to do, and it didn't, like I say, it just didn't pop on the shelf.
Mm-hmm. Bill, you apparently had some comments on the flavor of the product. Where do you stand on the formulation?
Well, I'm kind of a matcha tea snob. I thought their original flavor was very good. You want it grassy. I think when they combined with the fruit, for me, the taste didn't come together as well. I suppose for rookies, maybe those were okay, but I want a more sophisticated flavor profile in all of them. I think they're starting out with real good material. This is real stuff. I could talk to these guys about some flavor development that I think could cater to a broader audience.
Yeah, and what are your thoughts on the sort of story connecting with the product itself, Paul?
Yeah, I liked it. I was on the website and I saw kind of the history and going to Japan to do it, and then tying it in really well to the functional benefits. I thought that was one of the strengths of pulling it together. And then I thought the packaging did do a lot. It was a calm, focused energy and a whole lot of other messages, so maybe simplify that. And I actually like the apple ginger like Sue did, so maybe the new people like those things, and as you develop a better taste or more familiarity, you go for a more natural
Training wheels for sure.
Yeah.
All right, gotta move on. All right, next up, UT, Nancy Kim Parker. Where are ya? All right. Nice to meet you. You got 2 minutes and your timer is right there.
Hi. I'm here to introduce Ute, a line of holistic, energizing medicinal root teas. What you tasted today is the dandelion and prickly ash teas, with our licorice coming out next month. We list our calorie count per bottle. Dandelion is 40 calories a bottle, prickly ash 50, and licorice root 60. Our teas are barely sweetened with organic evaporated cane juice. We are non-GMO verified and only use organic and wild-crafted ingredients. We were also nominated for the Nexty at Expo West during our soft pilot launch. Now, a lot of people are curious about herbal remedies, and going to an herbalist is as time-consuming as getting a physical from a doctor's. That is why I formulated a ready-to-drink herbal tea line for people wanting a natural alternative of maintaining energy and health through balance. Today's energy drink market is filled with chemicals and laden with sweeteners and caffeine. So a little bit of background about myself and how Ute came to be. I grew up on herbal remedies, and growing up I had digestive issues, so my parents homebrewed these nasty herbal concoctions, and they literally tasted like horrible dirt medicine. So soon after meeting my husband, I started to homebrew to support my husband's health after he lost his spleen in a motorcycle accident. Because my husband didn't want to drink anything that tasted like medicine, I reformulated my mother's recipes to cater to his general palate. Then shortly after the birth of my first child, I started to brew more often and crafted my own teas to stay alert without using caffeine as a stimulant. Being mindful of the ingredients that would pass on to my newborn, I formulated a line of herbal teas using common food ingredients. Thank you.
Nice job, nice job. UT, really kind of interesting packaging with that full wrap that you got there. Paul, you're nodding your head.
Yeah, I think the packaging is like interesting. It's kind of cool and crafty.
Yep.
On shelf, and it's unique for this category, I suppose. But it may be a little recessive on shelf. A lot of those dark colors maybe look better in your hand in bright light, and then you put them in a cooler on a shelf, and they get a little bit lost.
Yeah, and again, you had a sort of a story tying to the brand and the product as well. Justin, what are your thoughts on how well that was accomplished?
I thought it was good. You have to be careful when you're talking about alternatives to herbal remedies. That can be viewed as an implied claim that this will help treat things that those other products might. I found, at least on the presentation there, I saw no caffeine. I think probably a little more explanation about how this is a tea product but doesn't contain caffeine. So most people, would take any sort of tea to have some caffeine in it. So how that was accomplished, or if that just means no additionally added caffeine. But to me, that message might get a little mixed there.
Mm-hmm. Sue, did you do enough to induce trial? Would you pick it up off a shelf and maybe give it a shot?
Yeah, I liked the packaging a lot. I think that he made a good point, though, that it was a little bit dark and could get lost over time. But I thought it was pretty unique and punchy. I liked it. Yeah.
Bill, what are your thoughts on Ute as a brand and connecting with consumers in that way?
I like the name. I like the packaging. I thought the Dandelion product was executed beautifully. Just love that SKU. I think they're a little esoteric. Maybe they have to incorporate things like cranberry and ginger, things that are a little more approachable. I'd like these SKUs to be maybe numbers 4, 5, and 6 when the brand got going. So I think they need to consider how they're going to attack a broader audience.
Great. All right, let's move on.